"You're holding that wrong." The voice came from 2 lanes over, casual, confident, just loud enough to cut through the deep, rhythmic cracks of gunfire. The man it was aimed at didn't react. He stood at lane 4, tall but lean, his posture relaxed in a way that spoke of habit, not laziness. Salt and pepper beard. Weathered hands. A dark leather jacket creased from years of wear, not fashion. His boots looked like they'd walked more miles than most people drive in a year. He slid a cartridge into the magazine with unhurried precision, closed the bolt, and brought the rifle to his shoulder. The motion was so smooth it seemed less like something learned and more like something remembered. Around him, the Saturday crowd carried on, hobbyists snapping photos of their groupings, off-duty cops firing their duty pistols, a couple of guys in full tactical gear with chest rigs and patches they probably bought online. Nobody knew the stranger. No unit logos. No expensive range-branded bag. Just an old, scuffed duffel and the kind of quiet presence people tend to underestimate. "He's gonna scope bite himself if he's not careful," one man muttered near lane 5. Then the shot broke. Dead center at 300 yards. The second shot, same hole. The third, still the same. Through the spotting scope, the target wasn't a cluster of shots, it was a single ragged hole. The kind that made people stop mid-reload and look twice. The door at the far end creaked open, letting in a brief draft of cool air and a sliver of daylight. She stepped inside. Medium height, athletic build, olive drab hoodie pulled over her head, cap low over sharp eyes. She carried nothing but a compact range bag and a posture that made people unconsciously step out of her way. No smile, no nods, just a quick scan of the lanes. Her gaze paused on lane 4. She stayed back, watching. The way the man's support hand cupped the stock, his cheek weld locked perfectly, the smooth, deliberate cycle of the bolt, it wasn't hobby shooting. It wasn't even basic military. This was unit-level precision. The next shot landed. The spotting scope guy near the wall whistled under his breath. She walked over, boots silent on the rubber matting. "Where'd you learn to glass like that?" The man lowered the rifle, just enough to glance at her. His pale eyes were sharp, but his voice was calm. "Long time ago. Different life." From the next lane, a younger shooter leaned toward her. "You know him?" She didn't look away from the man. "No. But that's not weekend warrior shooting." He set the rifle down, engaged the safety, and extended a hand. "Jack." She shook it. Firm, solid. The kind of grip that had closed doors in bad places. "Captain Mason. Marine Force Recon." The range emptied slowly, echoes of gunfire replaced by the clatter of gear and low voices. Outside, the night air carried the smell of asphalt and distant rain. Mason was waiting near the lot, leaning against the hood of a dusty pickup. Jack stepped out, duffel over his shoulder, rifle case in hand. "Seriously," she said, straightening. "Where do you train?" He stopped, the parking lot lights throwing long shadows across the wet pavement. "Really?" He let out a short breath. "Some of us get medals. Some of us just get the job done." Something shifted in her expression, recognition. Respect. She nodded slowly. As he turned to leave, she called after him, "If you ever want to put that skill to use again, we could use a man like you." He didn't answer right away. Just met her eyes, gave the faintest nod, and walked toward the far end of the lot, disappearing into the dark. By morning, half the regulars at the range had already heard the story. About the man at lane 4 who no one knew, until they saw what he could do. Because real power doesn't come with noise. It doesn't announce itself. It just lands dead center,